We're going to actually start in sitting for a moment or standing if you prefer. Because this morning we're going to do a practice with a lot of awareness around breathing, but also about the neck and jaw. So I don't know about you guys, but I don't normally sit as much as I probably am, and having to do all these videos and things, and I'm finding I've got more tension in my jaw. So I just wanted to show you the movements and get you to be aware of what's happening in your own jaw in sitting. And actually, it might even be better if you guys come up into standing. So just come to standing and arrive. And remember, as you arrive, you just land. And notice where the weight is on your feet. Notice if there's more weight on one foot than the other. And remember, if you're not sure what you're feeling, you can sway a little bit and move your awareness around your feet so that you can feel, where is my neutral? Where do I hang out this morning? Is there more weight on the inside or the outside of the feet? On one foot more than the other? And remember, it could be very different. If you have a side bend injury reflex in your body or a pattern in the body, you'll be on the inner blade of one foot and the outer blade of the other, for example. And then notice the forward and back is the weight even between the balls of the feet and the heels. And then bring your awareness to your knees. Notice if they're soft. To your pelvis. Where is the bowl of water of your pelvis? Are you pouring the water forward? Are you tipping the water back? Is the pelvis level? None of those are right or wrong, just purely witnessing and noticing. And then notice the barrel of your ribs. So are the ribs down at the front, meaning that the barrel is sort of tipping forward over your pelvis? Or is the barrel tipping back slightly so the back of the ribs are closed down and the front of the ribs are splaying open? And again, if you're not sure, sort of just move your ribs a little and notice where you are. And then come up to your neck and notice, is there any tension in your neck this morning? How does your neck feel? Maybe even just turn your head gently. You don't have to go your full range. Turn your head gently from side to side and just notice. And then notice your jaw. And maybe bring your fingers up and find your ears. And then walk your hands across your cheek from your ears towards the corner of your mouth. And notice as you relax your cheek, is there tension in here? In the muscles of the jaw. And then with the jaw work that we're going to do on the floor, I want you to be really gentle. So remember, you don't have to move your full range of movement to re-educate your brain. So I want the movement of the jaw to be quite small. So the first thing I'd like you to do, and you can keep your fingers on your cheeks because that might help you to feel, is just let the bottom jaw drop a little. And notice how easily can you open your jaw? And does it go straight down or does it do a little zigzag? And then let your jaw close and tighten your teeth. Clench your jaw. Notice how that feels under your fingers. And then just let your jaw gently drop. And now let your jaw open even half the distance of what you just did. So we're talking pretty little, just teeth apart. And could you move your jaw from one to one side, the bottom jaw? And don't think about it, don't follow me, you'll have a preferred side. Come back to the middle, let the teeth jaw open and the teeth be apart. And then go the other way, but don't go as far. And find which side is easier for you. So when we do the moves on the floor, I want you to go to the easiest side, which is 10-9. Okay, and then there's this really cool little movement that you can do with your bottom jaw. So I've drawn a smile, an open smile, yeah? So gently open your jaw. And then what you're going to do is with your bottom jaw, you're going to actually make that half of the smile and then come straight across to the center and close. So it looks like this. So you go your easier way. For me, it's to my right, which looks like the left for you. So I open halfway. I take my bottom jaw, like I've just drawn that half of the smile, and then I bring it to the center, straight across, and I just let it close. Then I open, do it the other way, but it's going to be smaller. And then halfway across and close. And all of those movements, so if you need to do this one again, you can. So you open, you draw with the bottom jaw this half, come straight across, and then just let your jaw gently close. Open your jaw, and you go whichever way is right for you. You, with the bottom jaw, it's like you swing it into a little smile, but not a big move. And then come back to center and close. So hopefully when you did that, it was comfortable. Okay, I need it to be comfortable. And we're going to bring some of those movements into our normal moves. So one thing I want you to do now in standing is when you're standing, tense your jaw, so clench your teeth. And what happens to your posture? What happens to your posture? Some of you will feel like you tighten your back, some might feel like you tighten your front. And then this last move, so open your jaw slightly and then draw the bottom jaw back, tiny move. And notice as soon as you draw your jaw back, can you feel how you go into more of a green light through the back of the neck, for instance, maybe even the whole of your back? Let it go, don't hold it long. And then again, tiny move, let your jaw come forward. Oh, look what happens. We've been on the computer too long. Feel how your ribs sink. Right, you can stick your hands up on the computer or knitting too long or whatever you're doing, reading too long. And let's come out of it, but come out of it by bringing the ribs back and come back to neutral. And then just be aware of your jaw as you walk around your room, because you may not have even thought about your jaw. I know for some of you, it's very much in your awareness because you get pain. For others, you might not even notice. So go for a walk around your room and just notice what's your jaw do and how does it feel if you tense your jaw? Can you feel how when you tense your jaw, that's not, you don't just have tension in your jaw, it transfers down into your trunk. And then really relax your jaw, just let it drop open and walk. And then come back down and lie down. And so as you lay onto your back, you choose whether you have your legs long or your knees bent. And start to notice your imprint. And let's go from the jaw and the head down. So that movement of poking your chin forward or your jaw forward and drawing your jaw back, me. Just notice if you were to open your mouth a little and you protrude your jaw forward, like you've sort of been sitting on the computer trying to read something. Notice what happens in your neck, notice what happens in the center. And then draw your chin back in. Draw your jaw back in. Notice if you go too far, how it will tense up the back of the neck and the body. And come back to where it's comfortable for you. And notice the weight on the back of your head. Notice the weight on your shoulder blade. And all the way down your arm. What would happen if you made fists and tensed up your whole arm and maybe even draw your shoulders up towards your ears? What happens in your jaw? Does it respond? Or not? And then just slowly let your shoulders melt, let your hands relax until they open completely again. Fingers soft, palms soft. Notice the weight on the back of the ribs, the lower back, the left and right side of the pelvis. And then take your awareness down through your legs to your feet. Take a snapshot. Like you're lying on your favourite beach and someone's lifted you up off your mat. You look at the indent in the sand. Notice the parts of you that can surrender easily to gravity. Notice the parts of you that need a little more encouragement to let go. And then notice the breath. Remember that easeful abdominal breath where you imagine a silk scarf around your lower abdomen. Sorry, your lower ribs and your upper abdomen. So at the junction of your mid back and your lower back. Now with that silk scarf around the lower ribs and upper abdomen, see if you can let your breath be really easeful this morning. Allowing the diaphragm to move down as you breathe in. And notice, does the breath reach the front, the sides, and the back of the body? And notice what happens if you clench your jaw. What happens to your breath? And then release your jaw, just let it drop. Let the bottom jaw drop. Always move within your comfortable range. And notice, is it easier to breathe when the jaw is not relaxed? And letting go of this. And if you wish to set an intention for your practice this morning, to dedicate this practice, bring your hands to your heart space. Atha Yoga New Shasana. This is the first Yoga Sutra, which means it is with great respect and infinite love for ourselves and all beings that we now come to this practice. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And so with your arms down beside you and your knees bent now, just going to bring this awareness of the jaw into your arch and flatten. And actually, I'd encourage you this morning to go whichever way feels more easeful for you. Pardon me. So if you go, do a little arch and notice how easy does it feel for your arch this morning. And then let your back come out and go all the way into your flatten. And then come back to neutral. And notice which direction was easier for you. And let's go with that. So some of you might inhale and arch, others might inhale at neutral. And then exhale into your flatten. Now at the top of whatever you're doing, arching or flatten, could you clench your teeth? And then as you start to melt out of the arch or out of the flatten, letting the back muscles release if you're coming out of the arch, let the front muscles go if you're coming out of the flatten. Let your jaw soften and let your jaw actually open. Just a little, doesn't have to be a lot, just even the back teeth coming apart. We're trying to and switch off. And then do that again and notice, are you rocking? We'll do your arch first. Everyone arch with me. And as you arch, notice, are you rocking towards one side of your pelvis? And then slowly let your back release to neutral. And if you did, place your hand on the front of your pelvis and the opposite rib cage. And remember, it's probably more normal that we will deviate towards one side than stay completely down center. And now you choose whether you do an arch and release or a flatten and release, whatever you did before. So you'll inhale, if you're arching, you'll inhale and rock towards that same side of your pelvis, press the diagonal shoulder back. Imagine a rope on your back that's tightening. Tense your jaw, let your head move to whichever side. If you're flattened, remember you're drawing the front of the body across on the diagonal, let your head move in whichever direction it wants.
and clench your jaw. Now everybody slowly melts out of that, letting your jaw go. And so because we're potentially doing different things, do 2 more on your own. You can tense the jaw just at the top, or if you're noticing as soon as you move your jaw is coming along and tensing up, then tense as soon as you notice. If you don't notice, tense a little bit at the top or the bottom of the move. And remember, you're letting go of the muscles that you've just contracted. So in the arch, you're letting go of the back, and the flatten, you're letting go of the front. Let your jaw go and pause. And then notice your breath. You might even notice a subtle difference between one side of your chest. Expand the ribs, expanding easier on the side you've just panticulated. And then let's swap sides. So you'll either go into the arch. Remember, you might need to make the movement smaller, pressing the opposite shoulder back like there's a rope pulling those 2 points together in the back of the knee. Tense your jaw at the top. If you've got into the flatten, you move on your exhale. You're letting go of the back, you're drawing the rope on the front. Shoulder comes off the floor, head might move back, tense your jaw. Just a little bit, 1 point more than it already is. If you think here is a scale of 0 to 10, you only want to tense up about 3 or 4, no more. And super slow, melt out of it. Let your jaw be really relaxed. If you're not sure, bring your hands up. Remember, where your hands go, your brain goes. So at any time, if you need to massage the cheeks like you did in sitting and standing, and feel what the muscles are doing, please do. 2 more times on this second diagonal. Don't forget to tense the jaw at the top or the bottom of the move, and then slowly release. When you've finished, take your hands off your body and I'll know that you're ready. And then notice your breath. Take a breath in, imagine a silk scarf around your lower ribs and your upper abdomen. And then just let it go. And then let's do an arch and flatten right down the center this time. So as you breathe in, let your back arch, feel like you have your pelvis, the side, the halves of your pelvis are like train wheels on a track. At the top of the arch, really press the shoulder blades back, feel like the diagonal ropes crisscrossing, drawing those shoulders towards your pelvis. Keep breathing here. And then just tense the jaw 1 more, or half a point more than it is. And now let your back melt. Let your back melt, let your back melt, like warm honey drizzling up a spoon onto your porridge. And then go all the way into your flatten. Feel like the diagonal ropes which crisscross are on your front now. You have to let go of your back. Let your head tip back and just tense the jaw a little. And then super, super slow. Melt yourself back to neutral. Pardon me. If there's any tension in your jaw and your throat, you may find you cough or you yawn. And we're going to do that this time. As you arch, could you yawn? And let the movement last the whole length of your yawn. Now I find when I yawn, my arms want to roll back. Like into a flower. If that happens to you, let it happen. And as you exhale, let your back go, let your back go, let your back melt, like ice cream melts into the hot concrete only a few months ago. And then go all the way into your flatten and yawn again. And maybe squeeze your knees in and roll your arms. You choose whether the arms and legs want to follow. And then could you yawn yourself out of it? and completely switch off. Notice your breath. Notice your imprint. Then place your hands onto your bottom ribs and take a breath in at neutral. Can you do that? Can you breathe in at neutral without arching your back? If not, let your back arch. Just notice what happens. And as you breathe out, let your back go. Sink your ribs down. Let your shoulders come off the floor, elbows stay down. Let your head tip back and clench your jaw. Now breathe into the back of the body and let your jaw open. Let your jaw soften. And now super, super slow. Release the front of the body. Let yourself come back to neutral. Let's keep the hands on the ribs, sort of pendiculated the muscles of the ribs. So as you breathe in, let your ribs open as your back arches this time. As you breathe out, let the back ribs open, the front ribs move with you. So put some little bit of pressure, move your ribs down towards your pelvis and towards the floor. And notice as the front of the barrel tips down, the shoulders at the top of the barrel are going to come off the floor. Head tips back. Breathe into the back of your body. Hand to your jaw if it's already there. 1 point more. And then slowly let your jaw go as you come out. Breathe yourself out of it. You can take several breaths. And switch off. Notice your breath. Notice your imprint. And let's do a flower, one more. Full flower, so bring the legs into it. And if you'd like to roll your arms, you can. Otherwise, stay with this version of your hands on the ribs. As you breathe in, let your back arch. Feel like those diagonal ropes are drawing your shoulder blades towards your opposite pelvis. Let your knees go wide. If your arms are long, you're rolling them open. Press your, or let your ribs expand at the front. Notice how the ribs are closed down at the back. Hence your jaw. Let go of the back. Let go of the jaw. Sink your ribs down at the front. Like you have those diagonal ropes crisscrossing across your front. Squeeze your knees in, let your head tip back. Pinch your jaw just a little with your head back. And then super slow. Come on out. Bring your arms down beside you. Legs back to neutral. Notice the four-car tie. And if you've still got weight on the inner blade of your feet, squeeze your knees back in together. See a few of you have got your knees in a bit. Squeeze your knees in more. And then slowly bring your legs apart until the four-car tie of the ground is equally in. And then notice how easy it is for you to breathe with your diaphragm. Now let's come into the diaphragm pump just to make sure that your diaphragm is moving as freely as it can. So with one hand on your abdomen and one hand on your chest, you imagine you have a balloon in your abdomen and a balloon in your chest. You breathe in and feel that balloon in your abdomen. Now hold your breath in, pump it into your chest without breathing out. Then allow it to go back into your relaxed belly balloon, into your relaxed chest balloon, into your relaxed belly balloon. Notice if your jaw tenses at all. Maybe deliberately open your jaw as you do this. And see if that helps you to allow the movement rather than force the movement. And of course, remember to breathe out when you need to. So, probably should have given you that cue a little bit earlier. I am trusting that you guys have done this before. Sorry, Rosie. So you pump for as many times as is comfortable to hold your breath and then you let it out. So again, take a breath in, breathe into your soft, relaxed balloon in your belly. then allow it to move into that balloon in your chest. So you tense your belly to take it into your chest. Hold your breath. Hardest thing to do. And pump the air now. Like you're pumping it into the balloon in your belly and into the balloon in your chest. Feel your diaphragm move up and down. Remember, breathe out when you need to. And when you start this next one, tense your jaw deliberately as you go to start. And notice how it's really hard to do. And then tense your jaw a little more and let it drop, let it go, let it go. Remember, only open as far as is comfortable for you. Keep your jaw really relaxed. And off you go. And then bring your arms down beside you. And you've completed. Notice your imprint, notice your breath. And then with your hands down beside you, notice whether you've landed palms up, palms down, palms in. Don't change, just notice. And that's where you're going to begin. So if your arms are more like that in a T, maybe bring them closer towards your pelvis. And you could bring your arms down a bit maybe. Oh, she might have frozen, which happens at Georgia West. So wherever your hands are now, you're going to sniff your shoulders up towards your ears. And do sniff, because when we sniff, we're activating the muscles that lift your upper two ribs. And now super slow, feel like you're allowing the muscles of your neck to slowly melt down like raindrops meandering down the window. About 3/4 of your range switch off, let your shoulder just surrender to gravity. And do one more in this hand position. Slowly melting your shoulders down like sand, moving down through the funnels of your arm and completely switch off. Now turn your hands to another position. So if you were palms down, you might go thumbs up. If you were thumbs up, go palms down. Sniff on up. Really feel the muscles tense. You can actually tense your jaw at the top a little bit. And now let the jaw soften as you slowly melt your shoulders and switch off. One more. Sniff up, tense, slowly release down like a raindrop or honey drizzling off a spoon. Switch off 3/4 of the way and just let gravity take them away. And then turn your hands into the last position, which may be palms up. And if you're doing palms up, watch that you haven't tensed up between your shoulder blades. So find that comfortable position, sniff up. And slowly release. Switch off almost to the end and then just let go. One more, sniff up, tense your jaw. Super slow release. And switch off. Nice one. And then roll over onto one side. Roll to whichever side you're drawn to this morning. And as you rest onto that side, have something underneath your head, whether that's a towel or a cushion or a pillow. And I'm curious, as you come onto this side, can you remember when I got you to move your jaw from side to side? Is that the top side? Is that the bottom side? Just notice. And take your hands onto your top ribs. And if you can, have your elbow pointing up to the ceiling. And you can either have your first web space between your thumb and your index on your ribs, or if it feels better for you to be flat-handed, be flat-handed. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, you're going to sink your ribs down towards your pelvis. And your head might lift. Tense your jaw at the top. And then then super, super slow, like there is a rope that's just tightened from your armpit to your pelvis. Could you slowly lengthen that rope to lower you back down and switch off? Once you're resting down on the floor, let your jaw open a little. And do that little half smile. Or actually, it might be easier, first of all, just to imagine that you're drawing your jaw towards your top side. So like my top side, what you're looking at is the right. So I'm just opening my jaw and drawing it slightly to the right against gravity. And then I'll just let go and let gravity bring it back to where it was. So this needs to be really comfortable. So slow movement, small movement, safe, smooth. Open a little. Only do it twice. Like you're trying to lift the bottom jaw up towards your elbow that's pointing to the ceiling. And then just let go and let gravity bring it back down. Now, if that was really comfortable, you could do that at the top of the move rather than clenching. So take a breath in. Into those top ribs, feel them open up like a paper fan. And as you exhale, let the paper condense down like a fan closing up or a piece of paper being folded on itself. And at the top, if it feels okay, it depends where your head is here. Either tense the jaw, which is gentler, or imagine you're lifting your bottom jaw up. Push through a little bit, and now let the jaw go, and slowly like a paper fan opening up, let the ribs open and rolling you back down. No straining your neck when you do. So it doesn't have to be a big move at all. One more time with or without the jaw movement. Breath in. Imagine that rope drawing your armpit and pelvis together. You might even feel like you want to lift your feet into a full side bend. Just check that your knees are up at a right angle though if you're doing that. And maybe you tense your jaw at the top. So clenching your teeth is easier. Or making sure you're looking ahead. Lift your top jaw without any strain. Sorry, lift the bottom jaw towards the ceiling. And then super slow, lengthen. And let everything switch off. Let the jaw release. Open the jaw a few times. And then let's go into an arm slide. So turning your chest towards the floor, sliding your hands across the mat. And then super, super slow. Start to roll your rib cage. Now you might prefer not to have anything under your head, to let it roll. And turn your chest. And what I want you to watch here is there any tendency in the middle of your ribs to tense your jaw? And if you're not sure, as you roll your ribs open, tense your jaw a little more than it is. And let it release as you hold. And then slowly turn your chest back to the floor. Keep turning, keep turning. At the end of the movement, tense your jaw a little. And let it release. Sometimes you hold tension in your jaw without even realizing. And then the next time you go into the twist, come back just to your side. So rather than sliding your hand all the way past your bottom hand, and take your knees a little lower. So make a bigger opening and take your knees down to say a 45, which means your heels actually line up. And then take, we're going to do well with me. So some of you might feel like well with me is better for you with a pillow or a towel under your head. So you might like to place that back in. Hands are together. Take a breath in as you take your top hand towards the ceiling and then open up your chest. Notice how far can you take that back hand comfortably. And where do you feel the resistance? And it could be even in your neck. So remember, you don't have to look back there. You can keep looking. Then bring your hand back to vertical. Bend your elbow and glue your forehead and your hand together. The back of the hand sticks to the forehead. Take this bottom hand and bring it up onto your top rib. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, keep your legs still, but hunch yourself or slump and hollow and take your nose towards your pelvis. At the end of your movement, bring your elbow towards your bottom pelvis, like there's that diagonal rope once again. And then use something of your bottom hand to resist your elbow. So I make a fist. Feel yourself contract on the front. And now you've got two ropes, one from your bottom pelvis to your top shoulder. Tense your jaw here. Keep breathing, but tense your jaw while I talk you through the next bit. And you've also got a rope from your pubic bone to your breastbone. So start to let your jaw go. Lengthen the rope from your pubic bone to your breastbone. Once your shoulder lines up with your pelvis, then you start to spiral into a twist. And now you're letting go of the rope on your front. From the bottom pelvis to the top shoulder. Only go as far as is comfortable, and at the top, make sure your jaw is relaxed. Let it open. Then come back towards your side. Bottom hand comes back onto the ribs. So if you've got the ropes on, it'll help you with this movement. So when we curl in, both ropes end up tightening. First of all, we exhale, the rope between your pubic bone and your breastbone or your collarbones draws you down into a slump. So you're sinking in the middle, like you're doing a flatten on your side or you've been on the computer too long. Now draw your top shoulder towards your bottom pelvis, like that rope is closing or tightening, and resist with your bottom hand. So just stay with each part of the move. Tense your jaw now. Just adding opening. Release your jaw. Lengthen from that rope from your pubic bone to your breastbone. Once your shoulder lines up with your pelvis, spiral into the twist, releasing the rope from your shoulder, top shoulder to your bottom pelvis. And notice how far you can go in. Let's do one more. Hopefully everyone's going okay with that. A little bit of a complicated move for early Friday morning. So come back towards your side, hands come back onto your top ribs. You breathe in, really imagine where those ropes are. As you breathe out, you're bringing your nose towards your pelvis, holding in the front like you're slumping on the couch. Once you've got that, then you start to draw your shoulder and your elbow towards the lower pelvis. Use your other hand to stop your elbow, give yourself a bit of resistance, and tense your jaw. And then undo it, release the jaw. Lengthen from your pubic bone all the way up to the middle of your breastbone. Once your shoulder lines up, spiral, like you're lengthening the rope from your top shoulder to your bottom pelvis. So let go and straighten your arms, try and notice where you are. And if you love propeller, let's go into propeller. Otherwise, go back to arm slide. So propeller, definitely nothing underneath your head. Turn yourself towards the floor. Take your arm up a little higher. And as you turn to the floor, your top leg goes back. And just again, check what your jaw is doing. If you're not sure, tense it a little. Then let it release. And then you'll slowly roll your rib cage open. Let your arm either come across your body or over your head. And your leg comes forward. You can bend your knee, or you can keep your legs straight. And then you turn your chest back towards the floor. Tensing the jaw. So notice, are you more likely to tense when your spine is rounded, or are you more likely to tense your jaw when your spine is extended? And you're opened out. Tense your jaw at the top of the movement. And let go. And then just let your jaw be as relaxed as you can as you flow a few more times. And then when it feels right for you, you're going to roll onto your back. And you might like to straighten your leg, if that's comfortable for your back. If it's not, bend your knee. And just notice, now, how does this top side, the one that you were just moving, how does it feel compared to the other side of your body? Marvel at how bioplastic we really are. So this is, this time that we're in now is demanding that we be able to change and flow and adapt. And so notice how bioplastic we really are. If we can stay in our body and get out of our heads, we can actually fly with this change. And then bend your knees up. And it might be really curious to do a move. You choose. You can do arch and flatten. You might even like to bring your knees into your chest. And just notice how much the first side, how much that leg sits into your chest compared to the second side that we're about to do. And circle your knees in both directions. And then when you're ready, roll to your second side. Start with a pillow or a towel, something underneath your head. And we're coming into rib awareness and a side bend first. So knee to knees up at a right angle. And take your top hand. And if it's comfortable to use your first workspace, put your first workspace onto your ribs with your elbow pointing to the ceiling. So if all you feel you do when you do that is tense your shoulder up towards your ear, we'll do it more, tense it up more. You can even sniff it up. And then slowly melt it down to where it's comfortable. Take a breath in. Breathe into your hand. Feel your ribs move apart. Be curious as to why this is your second side. Why don't you roll this side for a second? Take a couple of breaths and just notice, do the ribs expand as easily on this side? Are you tensing up your shoulder more? If you feel like all you're doing is tensing up your shoulder when you breathe, you could put your bottom hand on top of that shoulder there. And then the next time you breathe out, sink your ribs down towards your pelvis. So you gently put a bit of pressure downwards and towards the floor. Let your head lift if it feels comfortable. If it doesn't, keep it on the floor. Hold there. Tense your jaw. Let your jaw go. And super slow breathe into your ribs, like you're lengthening your rope from your armpit to your pelvis. And completely switch off, which for me means I need to bring that arm down on this side. Then bring the hand back in. You can have the hand on top of your shoulder. If you feel like all you're doing is tensing up, tense up and give yourself a bit of resistance. So my bottom hand is resistant. And then just melt your shoulder down by pressing less into your top hand. If that helps. Take a breath in. As you exhale, sink the ribs down to your pelvis and towards the floor. Let your head lift. Tense your jaw, or if you feel that you can do that little movement of moving the bottom jaw up or to this side. Let gravity just sink it back down. Lengthen through the side body and the jaw. So if you've forgotten what we did with the jaw, so you're either tense it, just clenching your teeth, or with your jaw slightly open, you lift the bottom jaw upwards towards the ceiling. Not so much the smile move, but just a straight across. If your neck's really not happy, you could change your pillow as well. I'm not sure if your neck is tapping into it. If you need to change your pillow, change your pillow. Then one more time, breath in. And as you breathe out, sink your ribs down towards your pelvis, lift both feet this time if you wish. If there's tension in your neck, it might even be better to reach your hand long, like you're reaching towards the end of the mat. Your arm and your legs stay parallel. As you draw in, either tense or lift up. Release the jaw. Slowly lengthen through the side and come all the way out. Roll that shoulder around the clock face. Go up to 12, back to 3 or 9, depending which side you're on, down to 6, and back up to 12. Go back in the other direction. And then let's come into the arm side. Yeah. So they say we do what? Well, let's mix it up on this side. Let's do well with me first, then the arms wide. So maybe take one arm slide to just see how it feels. Just notice how far you can go. And then take your hands straight up towards the ceiling. So you might bring your hands together first. Take your hands straight up and then roll your ribs open and notice how far does the center of the body let you take that up. Then bring your hand back to vertical. Bend your elbow and glue the back of your hand to your forehead. Bottom hand comes to your wrist. So imagine the rope that goes from your top shoulder to your bottom pelvis across the front. But then there's also one from really high near breastbone, third rib, all the way down to your pubic bone. Take your knees a little lower. Once you've got your ropes on, take a breath in. As you breathe out, don't move your legs, but rather curl down from your upper body. Then, once you curl as far as you can, you draw your elbow towards the floor and your shoulder towards your arm. Stop there. Tense your jaw. Super, super slow. Lengthen the rope from the pelvis all the way up high onto your ribs. Once your shoulder lines up with your pelvis, let go of the rope from the bottom pelvis to the top shoulder and spiral it open. Come back towards center and back on the ribs. On your exhale, off you go. Slump. If you find it hard to slump, maybe take that hand from your ribs and put it in your breastbone, even with some fingers pointing to the breastbone, and really sink in your breastbone. Once you get to the bottom point, draw your shoulder across the opposite pelvis with your wrist, with your wrist, or your hand, or your feet. Push your elbow moves down. Super slow. Lengthen up. Pubic bone to breastbone, spiraling into your twist. One more time, come back towards center. You decide where your hand is, either on your ribs or in the middle of your breastbone. On your exhale, slump and curl, sink in the center. You want to contract the muscles in the front more now, so you feel like your rib cage is sinking towards your pelvis, shoulder towards your opposite pelvis, elbow down towards the floor. Resist. Super slowly lengthen up, slowly, smoothly, safely, as comfortably as you can, and spiral into the twist. There we go. And you'll notice that if you can get the muscles to contract, then you'll be able to let go of the spiral. Let's go into arm slide from here. So turning your chest back to the floor, slide your hand across your body like you're putting moisturizer on the skin. Now you might need to get rid of your support under your leg or lessen it. Fly towel can be good because you can unravel it a little and make it a little lower. And enjoy your arm slide like you're lying on your favourite beach, anywhere in the world. Not sure when you'll be allowed to do that again, so you might like to imagine it. Lucky we've got so many good beaches here. And enjoy, you know where to go, know where to be. Enjoy sliding your arm, rolling your ribs open into the twist. If you're really enjoying this and you prefer to stay with arm slide, please do. Otherwise, if you want to go into propeller, you can turn your chest. Noticing what your jaw's doing, whether your arm's sliding or you're in propeller. And if you feel like there might be a little bit of sneaky unconscious tension there, then clench your jaw at the top of the movement and let it go. Let it be as relaxed as you can. As you move, and let it pause when you're at the next part of the movement and tense and release. And then when you are ready to roll onto your back, you'll roll onto your back. And pause on the back. Notice your imprint, knees bent or legs long, your choice. And notice your jaw, gently open your jaw. And then close the jaw. Maybe open the jaw halfway. And see if you can do that little smile move. So you open your jaw just about halfway. The bottom jaw is creating a half smile. And then you go straight across back to centre. If you find it hard to do, put your hands on your chin and I'll give you one feedback. You open halfway. And then you make that half smile with your bottom jaw. Come straight across the centre and close. And then do it on the other side. And remember, going to your second side, let it be small, smooth, small, safe, pain-free. Straight back across to centre and close. Open. Half smile to the other side. Back to centre and close. And then let's come into a wash rag. But before we do, we might play a little bit with tipping your pelvis and dropping one knee and adding the jaw into that. So maybe come with me, because it might be easier for the jaw. So have your feet as wide as you need to, and that depends on how long your legs are. And you're going to tip your pelvis towards your right side and start to lower the left leg down. Keep the right leg still, so it doesn't move at all. And then could you either do two moves? If you find the half smile really hard, just take your jaw towards the left, so open, and take the jaw a little bit to the left. If you can do the half smile to the left, do the half smile. Bring it back to the midline as you bring your leg back up. It's good differentiation for your brain. It's like rubbing your, what is it? Patting your head and rubbing your belly. That's what it's like. And then you're going to gently tip your pelvis over towards the left. Keep your left leg completely still. Lengthen your whole right side. And then either open your jaw a little and just shift the jaw, bottom jaw towards the right. If you find it tricky to do, put your finger on the right side of your jaw. Or do that little half smile. And come back to center as you bring your pelvis and your leg back to center. And let's do that either side one more time. Make the jaw and the leg movement as easy as you can. Make sure that the leg you're moving towards stays still. And then you bring your jaw back to center as you bring your leg and pelvis back up. Your head might want to turn as well. Let that happen. Nice work. And then bring your feet back in. Move your arms out into a soft T and go into a wash rag. So rolling your pelvis to whichever side you're drawn to. Remember, then you roll that arm from your shoulder blade down and you roll the opposite arm up. Tense your jaw. Just teeth together. Just one more fraction point or half of the point more than it is. Not too much. And then just let that go as you come back to center. Roll your pelvis to the other side, legs follow, roll your arm down. Turning to look towards the up rolling arm. Tensing the jaw a little. Let everything come back. Now, if you feel like that's enough, my jaw's getting, you don't want your jaw to get sore. So if that's enough, just let your jaw go, let it be as relaxed as you can, and roll from side to side. And then come back to center and notice your imprint. Bring your knees into your chest. Feels like there might be a little bit of tension in some lower backs. So as you breathe in, gently arch your back and press your thighs into your hands. And notice, what do you want to do with your jaw at that point? Look at that little protruding your head back. You might even want to do that. So your jaw is open and your jaw sinks back towards the floor. And then slowly let your back go, let your back melt, and as you do that, let your jaw relax. Breathe in and arch, press your legs away. Maybe you draw your jaw, bottom jaw back a little towards the floor. And super slow, let your back melt. Like pancake batter in a hot pan, let your legs draw in. Let your jaw go. Do one more with or without the jaw. And then hug your knees in. You might even like to come into a bear cup, where you take the soles of your feet towards the ceiling. You can hold on behind your thighs, you can hold on to your shins, or if you've got long arms, you might reach your feet and you gently rock from side to side. And just notice, how does your bear cup feel? I'm always amazed how powerful this practice is, that we can work predominantly on the upper, on your chest and your neck and your jaw, and yet lots of freedom through the hips. That's because the hip bone is connected to the thigh bone. That's the song says, it's all connected. And then when you're ready, maybe roll through your spine. And again, notice really different practice today from last week. Notice how you feel. Make your way slowly back up into standing. One of the things I want you to pause and do before you get to standing is bend your knees. And if you can, if your knees will allow you to come down so low, come down this low. If they don't, maybe you put your fingers or your hands on the chair and you just lift your heels up. So you could be, so I'm just using my, I could even do it like so. Yeah? And then lift up onto the balls of your feet and then sink your heels down. And as you lift up onto the balls of your feet, make sure your feet stay parallel. So if you're on the floor, it helps if you've got long arms. You could even have a block or a big book, if you can't reach the floor. And then you sink your heels down. Rise up onto the balls of your feet. Notice what your jaw does. Tense it up a little. And then let your heels go, let your head go and hang. So some of you might be really low, some of you might so. And releasing, let your jaw go. So do whatever's right for you. Lots of choices of where you are. Yeah? Tense your jaw at the top, let your heels go, let your jaw go. And then hang for a moment. Let there be no tension in your neck, maybe nod your head a little. Jaw relaxed. And slowly roll yourself up to stand. And let's do that a couple of times. Hands above your head, and then slowly roll down. Hang, let your jaw be open, relax. Nod if you need to. And then super slowly roll up. Go down to come up. Nice work. Do it one more time. Go down to come up. Time as you come up, stand. Stay standing. I'll just come down so you can see me. And notice how you've landed. Notice the weight on your feet. How does it compare to when we started? This is the power of this practice. That your center is connected to your periphery and your periphery is connected to the center. Bring your awareness to your knees. Notice that they're soft or locked. Notice if your feet are parallel or if one foot's turning out more than the other. Just notice that. It might mean you needed a bit more back release than I gave you today. Your feet are still turned out. And then when you bring your awareness to your pelvis, notice the bowl of water. Where is it sitting? And what about the barrel of your head? Notice your neck, and now notice your jaw. And if you're curious, open the jaw again. Don't go too far. Maybe close. And maybe open, notice that it open a little straighter now, or does it still do a zigzag? And maybe even take it towards one side. Back to the middle, to the other side. Go gentle. And maybe do one more half smile. And then go for a little walk around your room. And notice how is that change of the centre of your body affecting how you walk. And enjoy rolling over your feet. Notice what would happen if you tensed up your jaw again when you walk. And then let your jaw go. And then slowly come back and make your way into line, preparing yourself for yoga nidra. Hopefully everybody's jaws feel okay. If you overdid it, you might be feeling a bit sore in your jaw. So if you are, let's talk about it at the end. Make sure you're warm, so you might like a blanket underneath you and a blanket over you. Might have to put a leg right my blanket up underneath. Tuck yourself in. And before you settle completely down, it might be nice to come back to where we started and tensing your hands all the way up to your jaw, let the shoulders go up towards your ear. Don't over tense the jaw, it might naturally tense a little when you do this. And then just let that wave of softness come from your crown, through your face, through your jaw. Let your teeth be slightly apart as you let go all the way down your arms to your hands. Tense up your toes, curl your toes. And tense up your toes all the way to your pelvis, or to your crown, and then slowly let them go. Feel the weight of the body grounded into the floor. Make any adjustments you need to make sure you are even more comfortable in the future. Maybe an eye pillow or a towel across your face. Legs up on the chair or the couch if that's more comfortable. Start to become aware of the plane of contact between you and the floor, rather than the body or the floor. Notice the plane of contact. And bring your awareness to the plane of contact between your eyelids, body and the floor. Eyelid. Between the lids. Body and the floor. Eyelid. Lid. Start to become aware of the noises outside of your room. And see if you can hear them as a vibration. Moving your awareness from vibration to vibration. Letting go of this. Become aware of the noises within the room. And again, hear them as a vibration. Free of label, free of judgment. Let me go up this. And become aware of the noises within the body. Now it's time to make a resolve or a sankalpa. Now resolve is something that you've forgotten about your true self. And you state it in a way that it already is. I am. With feeling and awareness, allow it to permeate deeper and deeper into your being. And letting go of this. Now it's time to rotate your awareness around your physical body. As I mention the parts of the body, feel, sense and release that which is named. Bringing all of your awareness to the thumb of your right hand. Index finger. Middle finger. Ring finger. Little finger. Palm of the hand. Back of the hand. Right wrist. Lower arm. Elbow. Upper arm. The right shoulder and armpit. The right side of your chest and leg. Hip. Thigh. Knee and kneecap. Shin. Calf. Ankle. Heel. Sole of the foot. Top of the foot. Your right big toe. Second. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Feel, sense and release the whole of the right arm and the right leg. Bringing all of your awareness to the thumb of the left hand. Index finger. Middle finger. Ring finger. Little finger. Palm of the hand. Back of the hand. Your wrist. Lower arm. Elbow. Upper arm. Left shoulder. Armpit. Chest. Waist. Hip. Left thigh. Left knee. Calf. Shin. Ankle. Heel. Sole of the top foot. top of the left foot, the left big toe, second, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Feel centering the whole of the left leg and the left arm. Relaxing both heel, calf, back of the knee, spine, right leg, left leg, lower back, all of the ribs, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, the space between the shoulder blade, the right side of the neck, left side of the neck, base of the skull, whole spine, tip of the tailbone to base of the skull, scalp, brain, forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, the space between the eyebrows, and the brain sink away from the forehead. Right eye, left eye, behind both eyes, right nostril, left nostril, whole nose, the right side of the cheek and jaw, the left cheek and jaw, lip, tongue, teeth. Feel center release the whole of the head, front of the neck, right collarbone, breastbone, all of the ribs, organs of the chest and neck, organs of the abdomen, organs of the pelvis, front of the spine, kneecap, shin, tops of the feet, all 10 toes. Feel center release the whole right side of the body, the whole left side of the body. Feel center release the whole body, whole body, whole body. Start to notice the breath entering the nostrils, the cool morning air, and the warm air leaving the nostrils. And mentally label the breath. Inhaling number 27, breathing out 27. Let the breath flow naturally, follow the breath. 26, in breath. 26. Out breath. Continue backwards towards 1. And if the thinking mind wanders off and you lose count, go back to 27 and begin again. Letting go of this. Keeping your awareness of the blank screen of the unconscious mind. Behind your eyes, behind your forehead. Recall a sensation. Witness a sensation of cold. Cold. And let go of it. And witness the sensation of heat. Heat. Letting go of it. Witness the sensation of heaviness. Heaviness. And letting go of this, witness the sensation of lightness. Lightness. Letting go of this. Bringing your awareness back to the blank screen of the mind, the space behind your eyes, behind your forehead. And watch the space this morning like you would watch the clouds float by. Noticing the blue sky that is always behind these soft white clouds. And you allow any thoughts, any images, any colours to roll into the space, just like the white cloud rolling across the sky. And let them roll out again. Any thoughts, any images, any colours. You watch this space with that little bit of detachment, witnessing any thought, any colour, any images. Let them roll in, let them roll out. letting go of it. And keeping your awareness, the blank screen of the mind, behind your eyes, behind your forehead. Now it is time to repeat your resolve, your sankalpa. Repeat it to yourself exactly as you did at the beginning of this yoga nidra, with feeling and awareness. Allow it to permeate deeper and deeper into your being as you repeat it 3 times. Letting go of this. Begin to deepen your breath. And focus on the in-breath and draw the inhaling breath from the core of the earth. Bring it to your navel and let it spread into every single cell in your body. As you exhale, collect your breath back to your navel. And let it ground you into the earth like an anchor or root. Keep breathing in this manner, drawing your breath from the earth. Bring it to every cell. Collect your breath from every cell. Your navel to the earth. Feel that your practice is fully integrated into your being. And gently begin to move, maybe moving your fingers and your toes. Notice if you need to bring your knees into your chest this morning, or whether you'd like to stretch or even yawn. Really release your jaw as you take your arms over your head. And then when you're ready, gently roll towards one side and pause there. Notice you might like to hug yourself into a tight little ball on your side. You might like to rock a little bit from your side back to your back. You can roll side to side. And then gently make your way up into a seated pose. Remember, you can sit in your chair, you can sit on a bolster, on a cushion, cross-legged, or maybe Vajrasana where your buttocks is resting on your heels. And bring your hands into your heart space this morning. You're enjoying lots of gratitude practice. And so start with your hands together in prayer pose or Anjali Mudra. And then you keep your your little finger and your thumb together and you open the index, middle and ring. And you create like a chalice at your heart space. And then you might have your eyes soft or close your eyes. And as you breathe in, breathe up through your spine and say to yourself, I am grateful for, and see what arises rather than thinking of something. See what arises in this space. And then as you exhale, send it deeper and deeper into your spine. Inhaling, I am grateful for. Pause and see what bubbles up in that pause. As you exhale, send it deeper and deeper into your spine. One more time on your own. And as you complete your exhale, bring all the tips of the fingers together like you're sealing that gratitude into your heart space. Let's finish this practice with 3 Oms. Take a moment if you wish to dedicate this love. Rub your palms together. Inhaling as you open your hands wide. Bring your hands back into prayer pose. Maybe touch your third eye as you bring your hands to your heart. For it is with great respect and infinite love that we now conclude this practice. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. I honor that place in you where light, love, and truth dwell. But when you rest in that place in you, and I dwell in that place in you, we are one. Namaste.